about me.
You're going next to me.
Okay, good morning. It is Friday and it is the 5th of March and yesterday was World Book Day. Oh, and I should also say it's the very last day of homeschooling.
No, it's not for me.
It is for me.
I have it on Monday.
Oh yeah, Lillia's got Monday, but that doesn't count because you're back to school next week. So it's quite a big day. Plus we're getting our garden sofa delivered today, so that's very exciting. And yesterday was World Book Day, but our schools celebrate it for some reason on the Friday nearest to World Book Day, which is today. So we thought we'd do a little book related vlog today. So the girls have both chosen, they both brought down the books they're currently reading, plus recommendations they have and favourites and so on, so that we can give you some ideas for the books. So Phoebe's 10, Lillia's almost 15, and I'm going to do the same, and I'll be 44 in April, and Dan's going to do the same as well. So we're going to share some books. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
You just call me an old lady.
Yeah,
No,
I thought
no.
I should go first.
Rude. So, which one are you reading at the moment?
I mean, I'm reading two at the moment. At the same time.
Which two are you
I'm
reading
two
at the moment?
I am reading One of Us is Next.
Okay, so this is One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus, and it's a series, isn't it? Sorry.
Actually, it's just a dual story. And she wrote another one, which I have in my pile, called One of Us is Lying. And it's a mystery book, a bit. I've been told it's a bit like The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
But this one is like what happens the year after,
Ah.
with a different year, and like you still get the story from the last book and all the characters, but there are new ones as well.
There's no murder in The Breakfast Club.
Oh, I can't say anything, but
Okay.
you know.
And would you recommend this for someone of your age?
Yes.
Why? And what kind of genre is it? You said it's a mystery, but is it a murder mystery?
It's murder mystery. It's love, drama. You know, it's everything.
Okay.
Literally.
And what's the other book that's in the series?
One of Us is Lying.
And this is the first one.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
So it goes red, blue, and then Lillia said there's another
So
one.
this one is with the original 4, the Bayview 4.
Okay.
Which is what they're called.
I remember you love this one.
Oh my god.
And these are really cool as well because they're coloured. The edges of the pages are coloured.
And there are two more books by her. One's called Two Can Keep a Secret, which is a completely different story, and another one called The Cousins, which is a completely different story. And then I'm also reading Dear Evan Hansen, which is like one of my favourite musicals, but it was a book first, and it's about an anxious, like a teenage boy who I'm pretty sure has depression and anxiety, and as like a therapy mechanism, he has to write letters to himself. So he writes like Dear Evan Hansen and then Sincerely Me. And then something happens and the letter gets into the wrong hands, and then everything kind of goes very, very wrong for him.
And it's a musical, isn't it?
Yes, it's a musical.
Yeah, and you've been studying it as part of your drama, have you?
No.
Oh no.
No, that was everybody.
That was everybody's.
Oh, that's Everybody's Talking About Joan. That's a different musical.
But this is very.
And what are the other ones you've got to recommend? So these are all books you've read that
Yes.
you would recommend to people
Yes.
of your age, or any age really,
Any
I
age,
suppose.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And then like my favourite is Dash and Lily's Book of Death.
We spoke about this in Vlogmas, didn't we? Because they
Yeah.
made it into a television series.
Oh my god! So it's a television series. That's how I found out about it, and it's basically about two teenagers in New York. And first of all, a boy finds this red notebook in a bookstore, and then they communicate through this notebook, and then it's about that, and then they eventually meet and stuff like that. It's very, very good, and I love it very
And what do
much.
they leave in the notebook?
Notes and dares and stuff.
Yeah, it's a love story. It's set at Christmas as well. It was on Netflix. I'm guessing it's still on Netflix, and
Yeah.
we really enjoyed watching it over Christmas.
It's written by two people.
It's a bit
as
too
well.
old for Phoebe to watch, but maybe next year.
But
Maybe
all
next
I
year.
hear from Lillia is, oh, I love Lily. Dash and Lily's Book of Theirs. It's so cute.
There's
I
some
love
quite
Lily. I
amazing
love Dash.
knitwear in it as well. Lily is supposedly quite crafty and handmade, so she has some fabulous knit and crochet hats and
Yes,
She has a
sweaters.
sweater.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't bring the entire series down because I don't have the entire series, but I I'm only on book 4, so if you've read this, no spoilers.
How many books are in the series? Do you know?
5 or 6, I believe.
Okay, so
I
this
think
is
there's
the Gallagher Girls
Yeah,
series.
That's
2, 3, 4, no, 5.
And by the way, I will link all of these underneath with the authors and links to them on Amazon, just in case you're trying to find them, so you can see the exact things we're talking about. And this one's by
Ali Carter.
Ali Carter.
And it's called Gallagher Girls, and it's about a school for girl spies. Like, it's a girl only boarding school, but it's a school for spies instead. And it's really funny, and it's really good. Like, when I read the first book, I was like, oh, okay, it's just about one crime per book. And then as I read it, it just continuously had like this one storyline going through all the books, and I was like, what? It's mad, but I love it.
And you'd recommend that series?
Yes.
Is it a murder mystery again, or is it more
No
just...
one's been murdered yet.
But is it like it's a mystery? Is it?
It's like spy mystery stuff.
Okay.
With a bit of romance.
And what about this last one you've brought down to recommend?
This last one, I got it ages ago, and I've read it many times since. It's a trilogy book.
Okay.
So there's the Potion Diaries, Royal Tour, the Potion Diaries going viral. And it's a fantasy book, and it's about this alchemist. This princess makes a mistake, and then she gets very sick. And then this like whole quest is opened up to see if an alchemist can find the cure. So then Sammy is what I'm going to call her. She enters this to save her family business in alchemy.
Okay. And you've read it a few times.
I've read it many times.
Yeah, and it's it's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy.
It's by Amy Allwood. Have you read the other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you
Can
would
I
recommend.
read those
Are they for your age, or did you read them when you were a bit younger?
I read them when I was just a bit older than Phoebe.
Okay, so that might be good for you to try, Phoebes. Thank you, Lillia.
Yeah.
And also, we all agreed that we would give hints to characters in books by what we wore today, and we haven't actually yet all worked out who each other is being. Lillia's wearing
I know who Lillia
a school
is.
shirt, a t-shirt that says the book was better, and one glove.
Well, we got to pretend like the book was better wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
It's just supposed to be like this colour shirt, but I didn't want to wear my shirt inside out.
Okay, and you're a character from a book.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a character we know?
And that's a broken arm.
I've spoken about him before.
Are you Jamie from Everybody?
No,
Talking
Jamie
about?
doesn't.
That's
have
not a
broken
book.
arm. The book was in this pile.
Are you Dash?
No,
Oh.
Dash doesn't have a
Are you Evan Hansen?
Yeah!
Lillia is Evan Hansen. Well, I didn't know you had a
It's
broken arm.
Ivan Hansen.
Ivan Hansen.
broken
Dear Ivan Hansen.
We've been way too out of touch.
Right, Phoebe, do you want to go and grab your books?
My books.
Because I'm
Phoebe's
reading.
just getting her books. Can you guess who
Who's good
I
is it?
am?
Yeah.
Who I am a nod to a character
You are?
from a book that was released at the same time to accompany the film. It's just a nod to the character.
Let's dance.
What did you just say?
David Bowie.
From what film?
Oh, the labyrinth!
Ah!
Oh, I was right! Oh my god!
It's a film, but there was a book released at the same time. So I am Let's Dance, as in
I
The
only said-
Labyrinth, David Bowie, the
I only
Goblin
said
King.
Let's Dance because of the...
Let's dance.
That's the song from the film.
I thought it was the baby song.
Well, that's also in there.
Power
Yeah.
of the Babe.
What babe? The power of voodoo. Who do you do? What? Remind me of the babe. Yeah, but Let's Dance is also in The
I
Labyrinth.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Right, so Phoebe, what book are you reading at the moment? So Phoebe's 10, so this is her recommendations for her age bracket. Phoebe's also dressed up as a character from a book. We know she's a cat.
Yeah.
But we don't... Are you Gobelino?
Yeah.
Are you? Aww. From
Gobelino.
Gobelino the
cat
Witch's
is.
Cat.
So the book I'm reading at the moment is Keeper of the Realm's Crows of Renge by Marcus Alexander. And the thing is, my favourite colour is purple, and
That's
for
right.
my birthday, Lillia made me a purple box, and she's read that book and she loves the book, and it's purple,
Oh
so
my
she
God,
put
it's
it in
so
the
good.
purple box, and she was like, you have to read it, 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 you have to read it.
I told
What's
you.
it about?
So it's about
Briefly.
a teenage girl, Charlie, and so her parents have gone missing, and she lives in her house with her gran. And then, like, is it her lawyer?
Yeah.
Her lawyer, Mr. Crow, he's absolutely horrible. And then one day she's walking and she sees this strange man, and he's a tree man, and he's like, and because she follows him, but she doesn't end up knowing where he goes. And then a few days later, Bane shows up.
Oh,
I remember Bane.
So
He's absolutely horrible.
Is it an adventure story then?
Yeah.
Is it creepy or scary, or is it just tense?
A little bit.
A little bit of all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would you recommend it for someone who's 10?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy. There you go.
I've read all of
And
them.
you read a lot of trilogies, you two. So, brilliant. You have been reading this a lot recently, haven't you?
because
I've
it's
seen you
so
snuggled
good.
up with
I
it.
forgot to...
Would I like it?
Oh, you'd love it.
Yeah, I might
And
give it a
another
go.
book I'm reading is You're Just Marvellous Medicine by Roald Dahl. I absolutely love Roald Dahl's book, and this is the only one that I haven't read.
Yeah, I think have you got your favourite one by Roald Dahl?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, I remember George's Marvellous Medicine.
I remember. Who remembers Rick Mail reading this on Jack and Ori?
What?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it for you. But it was really famous. Rick Mail did a reading of this, but he was so animated and funny, and it was absolutely fantastic. But your favourite one that you've read most recently?
It's James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
I've read it
That's
so
such a
many
good
times,
book.
and I love it so much. And this was actually Mum's copy when she was little.
That was my copy, but you've
Look at
read
how worn the
it, I think,
pages
2
are.
or 3 times, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James and the Giant Peach is such a good book.
And I forgot to bring down this one, but it's the Evie's Magic Bracelet series. I need to finish it.
Oh yes, Evie's Magic Bracelet is written by Jessica Ennis.
Jessica Ennis
Hill.
who is
An
an
Olymp-
Olympic athlete.
Yeah, she was an What was Jenna? Was
And
she
she
a-
has
Jessica Ennis Hill. What was her sport?
She was an athlete and she was world and Olympic champion in heptathlon.
Heptathlon. There you go. And now she writes children's books. And the Evie's Magic Bracelet series is really, really good. And Phoebe's read nearly all of them. Have you read all of them?
I'm on book 4.
Yeah, and there's quite a few of them. So she really loves those.
And I remember one time I went in the library and I picked up number 6 just to read, and I read it in 2 days. Do you
Done.
remember when I was sitting on this sofa?
I do. You
finished
read it really quickly. They're not terribly long books, and they're a really sweet story about a little girl with a magic bracelet called Evie. If the title
Her
didn't give it
grandma
away.
Iris sends her magic
Yeah.
bracelets,
Oh,
and they last.
do you need a tissue?
Yeah.
Go and get.
They only last for 3 days. The bracelets,
Oh, okay.
and each one has different power. And her grandma writes like riddles, and she has to figure them out to see what the bracelets do.
So Lillia's just blowing her nose now. We've got to go and start homeschool.
I
So
still
shall we
have 2
whiz? Yeah, okay. We can start homeschool. Well, you don't have much to do today.
My next one, which I recently finished, is The Boy in the Dress by David Walliams, and I love it so much, and I think it is great, and it's
Let me
really,
move over a bit.
and it's really, really funny. I especially love the bit where he is dressed up as a girl from France, and then they're in the French class, and then he can't speak French very well, and then he says to the French teacher that he can't understand her because of her poor French accent, and there's like 2 pages of her crying.
Yeah, we liked that bit. There's 2 pages of her wailing, isn't there? We enjoyed that bit. And then this one.
This one. So I love Jacqueline Wilson books.
You're welcome.
And the other day, Mum, we were in the no, it was yesterday. We were in the shops, and I saw a Jacqueline Wilson magazine, and Mum didn't let me buy it.
It was one of these magazines that's covered in plastic toys. And I said no.
No, it wasn't. It was just a magazine about Jacqueline Wilson's book.
Show the books. We've got to go and get on with homeschool.
This is the Butterfly Club, and I absolutely love it. And I think it is great because I love it so much. And
would
it's
you?
a really
what,
nice story.
It's about a girl.
It's about a
who's
girl called
bullied.
Tina,
Yeah.
and she has triplet, so she's a triplet with Phil and Maddie, but she something's wrong with her heart, and she's very small and very fragile. And then they move up to school, and there's this mean girl called Selma, and then they have to start a butterfly garden together, and then Selma flushes something down the toilet that means a lot to
Yeah,
Phoebe.
without giving. So I think basically the story is that she's bullied by this awful girl, but they're forced to do a school project together, and actually there's more behind Selma's behaviour than meets the eye, and it's about the journey, the friendship journey they go on together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Phoebe absolutely devoured this book. It's by Jacqueline Wilson, who I'm sure you've all heard of. She's a British author, and yeah, really, really strikes. What are you whispering about?
I don't know.
They're whispering behind the book. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the kids' recommendations for their age groups, and I'll try and talk if I've got any more time after that, because that was really detailed. Well done,
when
girls.
I read The Butterfly Club, my best friend read it at the same time, and at break time we used to read some together. Like, we used to literally walk around in circles around like a bench or something, or in the tranquility pods, and read it and take turns on reading.
You had like a mini book club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just us.
Right, time for homeschool. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin.
Very exciting delivery. This in here, although it looks very small, so now I'm a bit worried, but in here is our new garden corner sofa. Exciting stuff. Just a note on making tea. I had a question about milk in tea. Well, not a question, a comment about milk in tea. Hang on, let me just change the camera around. So I'm just making a cup of tea for Dan and I. We're having good old Yorkshire tea, which is our favourite. And when we can, we get Yorkshire tea for hard water, which they do, which is really nice, but we can't always get that because we live in a hard water area. But someone commented about putting milk in fruit tea, which I don't do. I only have milk in black tea. So when I was showing my Japanese tea, which was a gift from my friend Vicky, who lives in Japan, this is flavoured, but it's actually black tea. It's black tea with flavouring in it, so I drink it with milk. Although a lot of people just drink tea black without milk, but I don't like that. But if I was drinking, say, a fruit tea, like this lovely one, for my friend Shelley, just a rose hip tea, I would just brew that and drink it as it is, or I've got other fruit teas which I would just brew and drink on their own. This is quite awkward because I'm kind of bending over. And then I've got rooibos teas, such as this one from the Proper Tea Company. This is a rooibos chai. I absolutely love this one. So the base tea in it is rooibos, and then there's kind of flavourings like cardamom and turmeric and cloves and so on. I drink my rooibos tea with milk as well. So that clears up the milk in tea issue. Tea and books, that's what this vlog is about today. We've finished homeschool for the day, and it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning because the primary school have only given them really fun book day activities, which we've kind of whizzed through. And it's supposed to encourage them to kind of get reading and so on, which, as you can see from the little footage earlier, we don't really have a problem with. So I thought I'd do my little bit about books. I'm not going to take as long as the girls did because I recently did a video, a little bookshelf tour, in which I talk about books a lot. So I'll link that underneath. Well, it's only a few videos back on this channel. and you can go and have a look at that. I talk about quite a lot of books there, and there are just so many. I can't talk about all of them, so I've just picked a few. So I wanted to tell you what book I'm now reading. I finished Salt to the Sea by Raina Wynne yesterday. And if you're in the mood for a bit of an adventure and a triumph through adversity story, that is a really good one. It's a true story about a couple who lose everything. Their life falls apart and they decide to walk the southwest coast path in England. And it's really worth a read. I would recommend it. The book I'm reading at the moment is the second book in the Clan of the Cave Bear series, which is The Valley of Horses, which I'm told gets a little bit racy at some point. I hope I can cope. So I only started this last night. I only got a few pages, but I'm really excited to get stuck back into the characters. I really enjoyed Clan of the Cave Bear, which I only discovered last year, and I thoroughly enjoyed the story and just really glad I discovered it, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. All the other books I'm going to mention, or the couple of other books I'm going to mention, I don't have to show you because we're decorating at the moment, and a lot of my books are all in boxes and boxed up out of the way, so I don't have them. So I think one of my most favourite books of all time that I ever read was Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and the reason I enjoyed it so much was there was a lot of adversity and troubles to overcome, but at each point in the story, just when you were really hating someone who was doing wrong by Jane, they kind of got their comeuppance at just the right time. So it was a really satisfying book to read, and I absolutely adored the character of Mr. Rochester. I was absolutely in love with him. I thought it was marvellous. So I think that's one of my most favourite books of all time. And then one of my most recent favourite books, I would say, is All the Light We Cannot See. And if you're bored of hearing me mention it, I do apologise. But I think it was a book that it came into my life at a moment in time, and that was as important as the story itself. In that I found it in a charity shop in February, about a year ago, where we were down in Folkestone visiting one of Lillia's friends. We'd gone for a little shop with Lillia's friend and her mum, and we were catching up. And we were looking around the charity shops, and Jenny, my friend, picked up the book and said, "Have you read this?" I said, "No, I haven't." She said, "It's an excellent book, you'd enjoy it." And it was £1, so I bought it. And I read it throughout the time we were going into lockdown and that sort of period of time where the world just felt so unusual. And because it was a story set in the war, it kind of put into perspective everything we were going through. But also it was a story set in France, and we were booked to go to France, and we didn't know if we were going to make it. Sorry, France and Germany. One character Germany, one character France, but although ultimately it ends up in France. And when we did go, we went to Saint-Malo where the book was set, so we knew we were going to be in that area of France, and we did end up managing to go, which was brilliant. I'm not sure I've explained that very well. I'm trying to be quick. So those are the books I wanted to mention for our little World Book Day vlog. But now I'm going to have my cup of tea, and then Phoebe and I are going to walk into town to go to the post office because I've got some orders to post and a few other little bits. So that's what we're going to do next. I think it's going to be quite a long vlog, this one. But it's about books, so you can forgive me.
There's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
Phoebe's very excited. It's now just gone 5 o'clock. I've finished work for the day. I didn't film any of that boring stuff. I'm sure you're fed up of seeing me sitting at a desk doing work. So I've finished work for the day. It's gone really well. Phoebe's had her tutor session that she has every Friday.
And I answered a question right that nobody else that we got right.
She's very excited and excitable. We had a lovely long walk earlier, so that hopefully has worn off a little bit of energy, but I think she's just really excited about next week. Dan is going to go and play with her in her room for a little bit. I'm going to go and squeeze in a really quick workout. I really, really don't want to. But I'm going to make myself, because tonight, as a special treat, we're getting to the end of homeschooling. we're going to have a takeaway pizza. So I figured probably a workout beforehand might be a good idea. And then they've got their brownie Zoom and everything that they do on Friday nights. But first, Dan's going to tell you a little bit, very quickly, about his book recommendations. It looks like you're about to present the news.
This is what I'm reading at the minute. It's The Enchantress by Michael Scott. It's book 6 of 6 in a series about twins of legend that are here to save the world from the old ways. It's magical, it's mystical, it's got a bit of Greek mythology in there, and it's really super interesting. And it was actually originally a book of Lillia's, book 1, and I read it and liked it, so I've got all the others and now finished that. So that's a good read. But the one I want to recommend is these two. It's The Chronicles of Ancient Darkness. There's 2 books here, but there actually is 3 books in each book. And it's a story of a little boy called Torak who is left alone when his father dies. And his father was a witch doctor, spirit walker within a sort of old kind of magical, mystical world, similar to Earth. And it's the adventures of Torak in terms of his survival and his journey through his to fulfill his destiny as the saviour of the different clans in the world in which he lives. It's really, really well written. It's super interesting, and as you can see, it's really well read. I've read each of these 2 probably 5 or 6 times over the years. Really good. Enjoy it.
Thank you. And that's the news. Whilst you're here, shall we do the song of the day? By the way...
And finally...
yes, and finally, last story tonight. Our bedroom is a mess because we have to empty it for the plasterers. I say that every vlog. I think you've got the message by now. The song
Of the day.
of the day. You've chosen it, Dan. So it's book related. Dan's chosen it, and it is...
It might be a fairly obvious choice, but it's also a pretty awesome song, and that's Paperback Writer by the Beatles.
Yay! I've added it to the Spotify playlist now. And I'm going to go and do this workout so we can have our pizza, and we will see you tomorrow. You're here again for the goodbye.
Oh, let's get this.
Bye.
Agents of the